Buona giornata. Sono Giorgio Litton. For those of you who are a little removed from Italy, I'm George Litton, president of the Verdi Square Festival. Thank you, thank you. On behalf of my colleagues, Mary Chan and Laurie Grossman, who unfortunately can't be here today, we welcome you to this, our final concert of the 2017 season. Appropriately, we are presenting opera. However, we're not restricted to opera. Those of you who have been here earlier this month saw a fantastic jug band, and last week we had a Dixieland group that had the audience dancing in the aisles. Today it's going to be opera, and I normally try to keep my introductory comments to a minimum, but we have some very special guests that I'd like to introduce, and if you permit me, I will also give recognition to people who have come to this Little Manhattan Festival from a great distance. First, I'd like to tip my hat to a great friend of the Verdi Square Festival, Borough President Gail Brewer. Gail?
Thank you very much, George Litton. You're my hero, whether you're in charge of the festival or in charge of your co-op board. I don't know what is more challenging. And I want to thank Mary and Laurie, and to say, you know, as the borough president, but previously as the city council member for the Upper West Side, I came to every single performance, and more importantly, I was there when Laurie and George and others sat down to figure out what to do, because we had an opening with the Parks Commissioner at the time, with the Charles Taylor from the Met, and he sang. And then the next thing I know, Laurie and George were saying, we have to do this every single summer. And this is the amazing result. This is the kind of music and the kind of quality. The Manhattan School of Music is unbelievably talented, and to have the combination of young professionals with open, with free, and with George Litton, and the idea New York should be and is to a certain extent full of free, professional, fantastic music and vocalists, but to me this is the best. The subway, the ambulances, the fire, none of that stops the wonderful vocalists and all of us being here today. Thank you for supporting the Verdi Music Festival, but more importantly, thank you for being New Yorkers and loving our city. Thank you very much, George Litton.
Thank you very much, Gail. There's one little favor I'd like to ask of you. Would you kindly put in a good word for us with Mayor de Blasio? It seems the Parks Department needs a slight increase in its budget. We are cut down on the number of chairs available significantly. Thank you, thank you. Next, I'd like to recognize some folks who have come a long distance to be with us this afternoon. The gentleman who has come the longest distance from London, England, Jan Dauman, could you raise your hand and show us where you are? Jan himself was performing in New Haven with the Yale Russian Chorus, which is another story. Perhaps one day we'll bring the Yale Russian Chorus to Verdi Square. Next in order of distance, Jonathan and Pamela Boyd, who are here from Michigan. Thank you. I have it on reliable authority that their daughter, Stephanie, who was here for our first concert, one of America's leading young composers, put in a good word that her folks should plan to visit New York when we have a festival concert, so thank you. Next, coming from Canada, for I think the fourth time to visit the Verdi Square Festival, Robert and Fotini Stephen from Toronto. Thank you. A little closer by, Michael and Karen Rotenberg are here from Boston. We have quite a geographic distribution here. In terms of artists who are here, I welcome Clotilde Atrando of the New York City Ballet. Clotilde, Associate Conductor of the New York City Ballet. Also, back for a visit with us from a time at the very beginning of the festival when she played a key part, Laurence Pierrot of the Cultural Department of the Consulate General of Luxembourg. Those of you who may not know it, the Consulate General of Luxembourg is the old home of Irving Berlin. And the Luxembourg Consulate hosted the Verdi Square Festival's performance of Call Me Madam in Irving Berlin's home. So, Laurence, thanks for being here. I don't know if Mike McLean is here, but he's with the Parks Department, and they're a key partner here. Now, the most key partner of this festival, without which there never would have been a festival, is the Manhattan School of Music. And I'm glad to say that we have the top tier of the Manhattan School of Music in our front row. Joan Aids, you know from her attendance at prior concerts, is a member of the Board of Trustees. Joan Gordon, Provost, welcome. And the heartiest welcome to the President of the Manhattan School of Music, James Gondry. I'd appreciate a few words, James.
Thank you so much, George. I have what I think is the best job in the world, being president of this wonderful institution. And I think after today, you'll hear some of our students, you'll agree with me. And speaking of geographic diversity, the students who come to Manhattan School of Music come from more than 50 countries and almost every state in this country to come study with our faculty who are members of the Metropolitan Opera, the New York Philharmonic, Jazz at Lincoln Center, etc. And these young kids get mentored and taught by these incredible artists, faculty, who give of their time and their talent and all of their years of experience to train the next generation of students. And speaking of geographic diversity, if you look in your programs today, the bios for all 4 of these young people are in there. And we cover the globe today. Amy Yarm is from Australia. And Zhao Tong Kao is from China. Jose Maldonado is from LA. And closest by is Philippe L'Esperance from Massachusetts. And our music director, one of our faculty members today, is Jorge Parodi, is from Argentina. So we have quite geographic diversity here today. So without further ado, I ask you to all just sit back and enjoy this wonderful program that they have in store for you. Thank you.